Hi students, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to explain about types of user defined functions. So what is a function? Function can be defined as a collection of statements used to perform a given task. The task may be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, function is a group of statements or group of instructions that can perform a special operation, special function or special program. In order to define functions, there are mainly four approaches based on arguments and return value. First is what? Function with arguments and with return values. Function with arguments and no return value. Function without argument and with return value. Function without arguments and without return value. Okay, no? So user defined functions are classified into four categories. So with arguments, with return value. Function with arguments, no return value. Function without arguments, with return value. Functions without arguments and without return value. So based on these phone configurations, okay, now user defined functions are classified into four categories. Function with argument with return value. So in this class I am going to discuss about function with argument and function with return value. A function with arguments and with return values is a user-defined function that accepts one or more inputs from the main function. So main function has to pass the parameters to the user-defined function, and user-defined function receives the parameters or values from the main function and perform the operation on that, and it return value to the main function, that is calling function. This pattern is used when you want to pass data into the function, and function performs the computation and function return the value to the main function. In this approach, the function definition contains arguments. Reading should be done in the calling function, that is main function. Function definition receives arguments from the calling function, that is main function, and contains the return value. After performing the corresponding operation, the function definition returns a value to the calling function. So this theory I'll explain in the program. This is a program. This program is what? With a function with arguments, function with arguments, and function with return value. Function with return value. Okay, na? Right. So here include any C program start with include standard input output header file. So this is a function declaration, right? So int is a function return type, sum is a function name, and parameters are int gamma int, and this is nothing but the function declaration must be end by the semicolon. Okay, first why we need to declare the function. So when you are declaring the function, so the function must be declared, so before the main function must be declared before the main function. So when you declare the function, compiler understands that there is a user defined program is called sum, which return data type is integer, and the parameters it is going to use the data type of parameters are integer and comma integer. Okay, this is nothing but function declaration. Our C program starts from the main function. From here to here it is a main function. When a main function I am declaring a variable a, b, result as integer variables, and printf enter the two numbers. So I'm going to this will be printed as is onto the screen. Whenever enter two numbers onto the screen, then I'm going to enter the value of a and b. A value is 10 and b value is 20. Then the scanf is going to read this 10 and 20 and place into the variable a and variable b. Because what is the function? This is function with the arguments. So whenever function with arguments means the values must be read in the main function only. And so the function a equal to the value of a is 10, b equal to 20. Then here this is the calling function. I'm calling the function sum a comma b. So this is the calling function. Whenever compiler execute this sum a comma b, right? So the sum a comma b, the control transfer goes to the this function. So this function will not be executed. So after calling this function some a comma b, control goes to the control transfer to the user defined function. From here to here it is a user defined function. Whenever compiler is executing this sum a comma b calling function, so compiler is going to search where is this program. The function name is sum, no, it is going to search for the sum. So sum is a user defined function. So this function name and this function name and this function name should be matched, right? So I'm calling the function along with passing the parameters of 10 and 20, right? So 10 is coming into the integer x, 20 is coming to the into the integer y. So these int comma x comma int y are called as a formal parameters. What is that? Formal parameters. And so this a comma b are called as a actual parameters. Actual parameters. Okay, na? So 10 is copied into the x. Okay, na? 20 is goes into the y. So integer x receives the 10 value from the a. Integer y is going to receive value from the b. Now x equal to 10, y equal to 20, x plus 10 plus 20 means the result is 30. Now the result has to be written because this is a function with the arguments and with return values. So the user defined function must has to return the value to the main function where it was called. It was called from here, no? Okay, now it is going to return 30. Return 30 from where? From where it was called? It was called from this sum function. So wherever from where it was going, it was going from here, no? Then it has to come back to the same place. After that, it returns the 30 from this function. It returns the 30. 30 will be stored in the result. Result is a variable. Now result equal to updated by 30 value. Okay, na? After that printf statement is going to be executed. So printf, the result is 30 now. So 30 is going to see onto the screen. This is my output I am going to get. Okay, na? So this is function with arguments and function with return value. Okay, na? Function with arguments means, so this is the arguments, function with arguments, and the function should return the value. Okay, na? Right. So this is function with arguments and function with return value. Okay, so let me execute this program and you will understand this. This is a program with function with arguments and function with return value. Okay, so ash include stdio.h. This is a user defined function. Into return data type, sum is a function name and arguments into comma int, right? This is nothing but a total function declaration. So every main program started, C program started the main function. I'm declaring A, B, C and result. Okay, na? So this is a reading. So whenever a function with arguments means reading should be done in the main function, that is a calling function. So this is a calling function sum a comma b. The controls goes back to the into sum x comma y. Okay, na? The value of a10 b20 is going to be received by the x and y. Then x plus 10 plus 20 30. 30 will be returned to the function where it was called. It was called from here, no? So 30 will be get back from here. 30 will be assigned to the result. Now that is going to print into the screen. So whenever function with arguments, right? So that output is going to print onto the print in the main function only. A function, a user defined function which has return value means 100% that output is going to print onto the screen from the main function only. Okay, so here reading should be done in the main function, so that I'm passing the parameters after taking from the user. I'm passing the parameters to the user defined function. Then execution is done here. Then the user defined function has to return the value. Whenever it returns the value, it comes back to the where the function was called. Then after that, the display is done here. Okay, let me execute this. So enter two numbers. I'm entering 10 and 20. So the result is 30. Okay, so this is the program. Okay, so for example, so if any function name mismatches, this is return data type mismatches or parameters mismatches. So it is going to give the error. Okay na? Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.